This is the Spain pick and roll. What does that mean? Well, listen, we're going to talk about it on 94 feet of UNC.
Gordy to Black. The time, 18. Shot, Jordan! Michael Jordan!
Swicker with the defense and the rebound. That's a good effort by Swicker.
Stackout streaking it on Park. Rebound stock is good, and he gets fouled by Park. Oh my goodness, what a dunk by Stackout.
I think that he brought him back so quickly, but you know what? They're down eight. It's very...
The glass no good. Rebound followed by Hansbrough. Good! Carolina.
Inside 30 overall. Love, top of the key.
Alice, the belt is over. Carolina. The Tar Heels have won the national championship.
And that is it. There is a new team in college basketball. North Carolina takes the title. Happen any final. North Carolina is the 2009 national champion. And this year, the confetti is going to fall to North Carolina. They're not going to be denied this time.
What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, October 3rd. You are tuned in to the 94 feet of UNC podcast. I am your host, Lindsay Graham. I got some special guests, of course, in the building with me today. They're not no unfamiliar faces. Of course, you all have seen them before. They decided to stop back by the Zell Dome and chop it up with me today. But before we get into everything, please make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell at my YouTube channel at 94 feet of UNC so that you don't miss out on any content that I provide for you. Also, make sure you follow me on my socials, on Twitter and on Instagram at 94 feet of UNC. Tap in with me and I reply back, whatever, you know how it goes. So got the 94 feet of UNC podcast merchandise is coming soon. But in order to find out about the free giveaways and the contests and things like that I got lined up for everybody, make sure you tapped in or whatever, subscribe to the channel, follow me on my socials, all right? My special guest back in the Zell Dome with me today. Of course, everybody you all know already, my guy Rob Wann is in the building, and my guy Pablo Cong is in the building. Fellas, how are you?
Pretty good.
Good, man. Good.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Man, listen, man. Y'all sound like, man, liven it up in here a little bit, man. What's going on? What are y'all listening to? Like some R&B music or something? What's going on, man?
I'm happy to be here, my guy. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys stopping back by, man. For sure, it's always a good time chopping it up with y'all, man. Y'all know how we do or whatever. Of course, we do a lot of speaking off air, of course, you know, and things like that. So, you know, for those that don't know, just real quick, Rob, tell everybody about yourself, and then Pablo, you know, you could go right after Rob.
Oh, okay. My name's Rob Wann, referee. I've been on the internet a lot because the kid mic'd me up, and evidently a lot of people liked it. You know, it's kind of cool, but I've been officiating 21 years, high school and college. I also do work some semi-pro ball, and I work for the Pacers and the Fever, working their practices as well. Love hoop.
Doing some big things over there. Pablo, what's going on?
All right, Pablo Cong, Pro 16, Puma Scout, avid Duke fan. We hate UNC, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? We in the building. I do a bunch of different things between scouting, writing. It's just different things. I'm just happy to be here as always, man. Chop it up with my man Lindsay, my new homeboy Rob.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But let's go back for a second for what you just said, though. You happy to be here, but you hate UNC. Hey, listen, man. Listen.
Now, you know I don't hate UNC.
Listen, dog. Okay, all right. That is true.
I'm just a big
you have told me.
Man. So let me rephrase what I said, right? I got a lot of respect for UNC, but if it's Duke or UNC, obviously I'm going to go with Duke, and I'm going to say, fuck UNC. You know what I'm saying?
Oh Lord, listen.
But, you
I'm
know,
gonna tell y'all something funny on everything. I started to wear my because I was a Fab Five fan. Y'all would have been eating my ass up because I lost the man. Boy,
yeah. Fab
lost
Five, that's some legendary shit, man. That's
man.
legendary stuff.
I got 2 Fab Five shirts, bro. I started to wear one tonight.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
Yeah. Listen, I've had some I've spoken with some players in UNC history that actually played in that 1993 national championship game against the Fab Five. Like, and some of them stories was incredible, man. I'm gonna be
That was
honest
the
with you. Like,
game, right?
I
That was the
really,
C-Web timeout game.
yeah, the timeout game. So,
Yeah.
it's a funny story because at that moment I was like 11, 12 years old, but
Yeah.
I was almost borderline a Michigan fan just because of the Fab Five. Like,
Yeah.
I just fell in love with the Fab Five, and then they ended up playing Carolina. All my family are Tar Heel fans, and just sitting there watching the game with Pop Dukes, and just seeing how excited and everything he was and happy he was. That championship, that win, just took me right with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's how I pretty much kind of became a Tar Heel fan, since from as a child, I guess you could say. So, but yeah, Fab Five will always go down in history. You know what's crazy?
Boy.
I found something about the Fab Five. They never won a like a championship. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. They won
think
tournament championship. They didn't win anything.
No, they lost to Duke their freshman year. Lost to Carolina as sophomores. Duke as freshmen, Carolina sophomores, and then Chris left. Jalen followed the year after, right?
Yeah, I think Jalen and Jawan followed the year after.
They went the year after. They went as juniors.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Okay.
I believe that's how it went.
Yeah.
But I think the Fab Five, that's so legendary though, man. I think if you know what I'm saying, if you anybody that looked like us or anybody close to the culture, bro, like you was a Fab Five fan, bro. I don't care what anybody say.
Yeah.
You definitely
Love
was,
him.
you know what I'm saying? For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, fellas, we got a few topics that we gonna jump into today. Like, we got a few topics we're gonna jump into. So, who wants to go first or whatever? I'm not gonna be the first. You all are the special guests, so welcome to the Zell Dome, of course. So whoever wants to go first on their topic, like let's go ahead and jump right on into it.
Go ahead, Pablo.
I bet. So this is actually more of a referee type question, right? So just like a historical, but not historical, but like just basketball question, right? So my thing was, right, I seen kind of like a shift in basketball over the last years, and I think it kind of happened when James Harden started playing for Houston, right? You start seeing the step backs, side steps, you know what I'm saying? More of the Euros, it became more prominent. I'm not sure if you guys noticed the same thing, but so I would say for you guys, do y'all think that kind of stuff is hurting or helping the game? Because I'm seeing like,
how about let you go first? This is your area, so
I'm seeing kids, as young as 8 years old doing step backs and side steps and Euros and everything because they're watching James Harden, playing isolation ball all day. He was playing in Houston, so did that help the game or is that kind of
as y'all know, my opinion on this, the pro game being so different than the college game, but I think sometimes it hurts the young's development because let's take the high school level, for example. There's not very many high school coaches in America. I mean, unless you got it, even if you got that type of dude that's a 5-star recruit that is playing pure isolation, basketball 70% of the time with the ball. Obviously, you're going to get your best player the ball in situations for him to be successful. You're going to let him isolate some. But like at the high school level, I mean, you really don't see that as much. And even at the college level, think about it, y'all. Who plays like Luka, James Harden, whoever that plays isolation basketball a lot? It's not even really relevant at the college level that much. But you're right. You see in kids take step back threes. Everybody wants to shoot a floater. Which I think you need a floater, but I think a floater through traffic is not really a great shot, but I'm mixed on it. I would say it hurts it a little bit more, personally, but because y'all know this for a fact. You take Duke and Carolina, two of the most storied programs, two of the best programs in America. How many kids is going pro off Duke and Carolina? 2, 3, sometimes y'all might have 4. So if you're not making it to that top level, you're not using it. And then also it hurts because I've done some FIBA ball too. You're not doing that across the water. Like Luka,
that's a fact.
FIBA, the ball moves, right?
Yeah.
The ball moves. It's not like isolation basketball. So I think I'm mixed on it, but I think it hurts some of the youth. I mean, I think that's why we're falling further and further. But I mean, not behind, but I think that's one reason the rest of the world is catching us too. Let's be honest. Y'all seen it in the Olympics.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. And I kind of, like I said, that question just kind of came to me right away. You know what I mean?
No,
Because
that's
I
a
knew
good
that
question,
you reffed, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I mean? Just seeing what I saw this weekend and shit. And I was just like, huh.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it kind of just made me wonder, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just seeing more and more of that kind of stuff, especially in like the younger kids. Because like you said, like I go to mad high school games. You don't see that in high school.
No.
You don't see it in college.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? You basically just saw it with James Harden. That's basically when you saw it. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of ended. You don't really see that no more in the NBA, really.
No.
I mean, you see Luka going one-on-one quite a bit. I mean, things like that. But he's still a willing passer. And,
right.
You know what I mean? I just think.
I agree.
Development-wise.
Because, like you said, that's a really good point. Because, like, you use Luka and Kyrie, for example. Well, they're going to have the ball. If you look at the NBA, in my opinion, if you look around the league, in the NBA, the offense runs through 2 to 3 guys on almost every team. Everybody else is, and you know how that new term, what we're using, everybody is stretch. Everybody is catch and shoot. Well, that's what most everybody's role is on an NBA team, except for the 2 or 3 dudes that the offense runs through.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, Luka and Kyrie, like for example, when they get doubled, though, they like you said, they quick to give it up. You know, they're gonna make a play.
Yeah. So, like I said, that just kind of came to me, man, because I was just wondering, just a little concerned about the youth, but I think we'd be okay. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, I think everybody is catching up to us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's up to us, you know what I'm saying, to do the right thing and change the culture and everything, man, to really get this going the right way. So
I agree. 100%.
So your what was, let me make sure I get this right. Resay your question. What was your question again?
So my question was,
I want to make sure I get this right.
So basically, I wanted to know like how you guys felt, or do you think it's hurting or helping the game that we see a lot of players mimicking the James Harden style of basketball when he was at Houston, like the heavy isolation ball, you know what I'm saying, with the side steps, sidestep threes, and basically not high, like very low percentage shots, you know what I'm saying, based off of moves and footwork, you know what I'm saying, that he's doing and stuff, you know what I mean, especially like Euros and things like that. So I just wanted to know if y'all thought that was hurting or helping the game. And I think Rob did a good job of explaining that, though. But how you feel about it, though, bro?
Yeah. I mean, Rob killed it. I'm not even gonna lie, because I mean that's the lane that, of course, he's in, and he's got a front row of it. We just view it and watch it, I guess you could say. But I mean, if you ask me, I think. It's kind of hard to say, to be honest with you, because I mean, that's a tough question. I don't know, because I mean, you got all of these different players out here that,
Yeah, I know the influence is always going to be heavy when you got players like from the NBA, the influence is always going to be heavy. That's why you see kids come in the gym and they launching from 45 feet.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna happen. But like I said, I just kind of, you know what I mean? Because I watch a lot of basketball and I'm seeing it more on the lower levels where I'm like, bro, y'all barely strong enough to make a layup. You know what I'm saying? But y'all coming in here and launching, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, I just kind of, you know what I mean, just looked at it from a development standpoint, man. I guess that's my scout eyes, man.
No, and I feel you, and I understand why
but
you say that too, because that was my fault, Lizzie. I didn't mean to cut in.
no, you good. You good, Rob. Go
Oh,
ahead.
what I was gonna say is, you know, we've had so many players that have like changed basketball. Like we can say Steph's changed basketball, right? I mean, this is kind of where we was at because you know what, like if you want to go back 15 years ago, they were shooting like 10 threes a game. Now we shoot like 30 in the NBA.
Yeah.
But the problem is, you know, what I always try to tell these shorties, like, hey, I ain't got no problem with threes, bro. But like, if I was coaching and you shooting 20% from three, it's a horrible shot, bro. Because like 2 out of 10 is not very good, you know. Like, and that's the problem, man. Everybody wants to shoot like Steph, but like, who's willing to put that work in, like Steph, to shoot it? You know, I'm not even saying because we're talking about the greatest shooter of all time, but like just to shoot a decent percentage where it becomes a good shot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right.
I think when it comes to the whole Steph Curry thing or whatever, right? I don't think you're gonna like, and that's probably more so common and everything, of course, to the NBA. It caters more to the NBA than it does to college basketball because the college coaches are not, of course, not gonna let their players pull up from 40 feet away or pull up from half court or whatever to shoot threes and things like that. So when you're talking about that, that's more of the whole, like I said, catering to the NBA type style play and you know that level of entertainment. I guess you could say the NBA is full of entertainment to me in the first place. It's that's just what it is. Like when I look at the NBA, it's like the All-Star game. It's like watching the All-Star game to me. Like the NBA to me over the past several years, in my eyes, and it's just my opinion, it's just not been exciting. Like this is why I always cater to and I'm attracted more to college basketball than I am to the NBA. Like college players, they're playing for something. They want like they have so many different things that they can play for that a lot of that stuff means something. To whereas when you get to the NBA, okay, yeah, I mean, a lot of people are not going. Every year, you got just about the same players making the All-Star teams. You know, they're gonna give it to they're gonna give the MVPs and all of that and stuff to the big name dominant players. You're not gonna see any of the I don't want to call them bottom tier type players in the NBA, but you're not gonna see Desmond Bain. You're not gonna see Desmond Bain get no NBA MVP or anything like that for the season. It's always gonna be the top player. It's always gonna be them. Like, you know.
So let me say this because we own something that was actually my question, if you don't mind. Is that good, Lindsay? Can I lead into it?
Absolutely.
Because we got on this.
Absolutely.
My first question was going to be, I actually like the NBA better than college basketball, which I know y'all more college guys, and that's fine. So my question is, that's what I was leading into. What makes you like college basketball more than the NBA? Now, I'm going to hit this first. I'm going to ask whoever wants to go first. But the one thing about the NBA, what a lot of people don't know is, and I've never been an NBA official, but I have been working for NBA teams for 12 years, do a lot of practices. I will tell you this much before y'all answer this, but I'm going to give y'all one piece of a hint. The NBA, where the NBA differs from college so much, the offense is better than the defense. That starts it. Because you can put whatever defense you want on those elite guys, there ain't no answer. I can tell you that. Their shot making ability takes whatever kind of defense you want, you can put on it. The offense is much better than the defense. So I will add that. But that was my question. My first question for y'all is, what makes y'all like college basketball better than the NBA?
I mean, I would say for me,
Bob, you can
I
go.
think for me it's probably just relatability. Just you know what I'm saying, knowing that like I know more college players than I do NBA players, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's more like a, you know what I mean, kind of like, I don't know, I wouldn't say financial status because NBA guys are way up here making all that money. And I think too, like for me, I'm more of a like a do as I like lead by example type of dude. So
Okay.
when I see guys like, you know what I'm saying, crying on a fast break or some shit like that, I'm like, man, you hurting the game. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that as if, you know what I'm saying, you see that in college, a coach is going to jump down, pause, they're going to jump down their throat. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't see that happening. So I think it's more accountability. So for me, it's just a little different, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm big on discipline. You know what I'm saying? I already talked about my background a little bit. So I'm big on that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like that with my kids. It's like all about accountability. So it's like, I think it's more in the college game. So I relate a little bit more for me. That's how I feel. But I love them both, though. I love hoop, though. So, I mean, I love both games, bro. I love NBA and college for sure.
So there's so many different things that I have with this. And this is a great question, Rob. I'm not even going to hold you. Like, great question. There's so many different things that play a major factor to me. Number one, I look at the area that I live in.
Okay.
I am in the area where it's 3 big prominent schools: North Carolina, Duke, and NC State. Now, for those that don't know, if you're in this area, you got to become a fan of one of the 3. That's just what it is. They're 30 minutes from each other, whatever the case may be. Like, you have to become a fan. During that time of the year when college basketball is going on, everywhere you look or turn around, you're seeing a Duke fan, a Tar Heel fan, a Wolfpack fan. It just, there's no way to get around it. Like, not only that, but like I said, the area forces you to become a fan of one of the 3. Period. Another thing is, speaking about the NBA, I'll jump to the NBA real quick. I don't like the whole fact of the load management. If I'm a fan of LeBron James, but I'm a Knicks guy. I love the Knicks. Well, I'm really only going to get a chance if I want to see my team play up against LeBron James. Then of course I got to go to New York to see it, or I got to go to LA because the Knicks and the Lakers only play twice a year anyway.
Right.
Every year they only play twice, right? So, but what happens if I go all the way to New York and next thing I know, when I get to New York and everything, my favorite player for the Lakers, though, isn't playing. Now, yeah, granted, I done came all the way up here to New York because I wanted to see my favorite team, but I wanted to see my favorite team go up against my favorite player that I like. Now, I'm not saying LeBron is my favorite player. That's far from that because you get what I'm saying? So that's the load management part that I can't stand that part. Number 2, too many egos. You got a coach that'll sit up here, he directs things or whatever, but nowadays, who's really the coach on in the NBA on the team? We all know LeBron is the one that's making all of the shots and calling all of the shots and everything at the Lakers. It may look like somebody else, but we know LeBron is doing that. I mean, that's just what it is. Dan Hurley didn't go to the Lakers for a reason, right? So that plays a part. You got all of these players. That could have been the case. That could have been it. But I mean, we're talking about the Lakers too. You turned it down. $70 million. You turned it down. Like, that's crazy. But why did he turn it down? Because he knows that he's not going to be in full control like he is at UConn. He's in full control. Yeah. He calls all of the shots at UConn. And I mean, that's just what it is. Coaches have a certain level of what's the word? Control, I guess you could say, when it comes to players. And Dan Hurley and the coaches that play in college, they are like that. Coach K, he never went to the Lakers and was offered a couple of times from the Lakers. But Coach K loves to teach. The coaches, and that's the reason why they have this big stigma thing that, college coaches can't really coach in the NBA. And yeah, that might be true, but it's different. Why can't they coach in the NBA? There's a reason for that.
Let me hit on that one real quick, because the one thing about coaching in the NBA, I respect everything you just said, by the way, as well. And I do like the NBA better. And but I am like both of y'all. I love hoop. I like college basketball. Love college basketball too. But in the NBA, as far as coaching, with that 24-second shot clock, you're not going to out X and O anybody. Like you can out X and O somebody in college. You can.
Yeah.
The NBA, you're not out X and O anybody. It is all about two things. Well, three things. It's about you're managing egos. That's true. You got to be good at that, and that's what Phil Jackson was about. I don't really think Phil Jackson was the greatest X and O coach, but he knew how to manage superstars, right? Did pretty good. He had Jordan and Pippen. He had Shaq and Kobe. So he did pretty well at that. And then it's about adjustments. You got to be able to adjust. And the thing that's different is when you get to the playoffs, you got to remember March Madness, the funnest. I mean, it's the greatest month. I love it. You know what I'm saying? But in the NBA, you can't steal a series. If you beat somebody in a series, you're better. You got to beat somebody 4 times. You can't steal 4 games. That's impossible.
Right.
You can't steal 4. So there's a lot of differences, So, but as far as the coaching aspect, like I was saying, you can't out X and O somebody in the NBA. That's very difficult. But you can out adjust them. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. Definitely agree with
that. And I mean, valid point. Because, like I said, the egos, you got to learn how to be able to manage them all. When you speak of like Phil Jackson, right? Phil Jackson, I don't know if I really want to say that a lot of it was Phil Jackson. Yeah, he was a mastermind when it came to making the plays and things like that. But guess what Phil Jackson had that took a lot of pressure off of him.
No doubt.
He had Kobe. You know what I'm saying? So it took a lot of the weight off of him. It took a lot of the weight off of him because now the players are tuned in to listening to Mike, listening to Kobe.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? In the NBA, talent is going. You got to have some chemistry. You got to have some balance and all that. But you could take Coach K, Dean Smith in his heyday, John Thompson, whoever you want to pick are the greatest college coaches of all time, and you send them to the Washington Wizards right now, they ain't winning 3-4 more games and they're going to win this year. I hate to tell you, they're bad. You can't, if you don't have enough talent in the league, you can't win. I mean, you can't. You can be a great coach, but you can steal a game during the regular season here and there, but that's about it. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah. I feel that. That's good.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I just like I said, I think that players in college have a little bit more to play for. A lot of them, they want to make it to the NBA, right? That's that's the first thing every college player is going to tell you. My dream is to play in the NBA. So when they're in college, they're playing for position. They're playing for a lottery pick. They're playing for a draft number. They're playing for, to possibly try to be the national player of the year. They're playing for a national championship. They're playing for their tournament championship or regular season. They're playing for the rivals. Their rival against the rival teams that they have. They're playing that. A lot of that stuff means a lot.
I think first and foremost too is that they playing for each other. You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
you know, maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's just perception, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, some of the guys in the NBA are selfish and stuff like that. I mean, you do get that, a little bit of that in
Oh
college,
yeah.
but for the most part, you know, you can control that, but the coach can control that, you know what I'm saying, and get that kind of out of there, because he just ain't going to play you and you're going to conform, you know what I'm saying? But I think for the most part, you know, they're playing for team, you know what I'm saying, instead of playing for self,
I got you.
you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's very valid, because I'll ask y'all this, and y'all can just tell me whether it's self or whether it's team. I'll give y'all a name in the NBA. Kawhi Leonard.
I do the same thing. That one's hard for me. I think Kawhi's a different dude to start with. But I don't think he's selfish. I think it's a lot of the injuries also come to play in this too, y'all. I think, you know, you got to put this into perspective though, Lindsay, on this one. That's a tough question, but like, if you was in a position to make $100 million, if you can stay healthy and you choose not to play, I think it's probably the right decision. Because here's the thing: we can say what we want to about pro sports in general. If you hurt, they're going to the next one. Like, you know, the NBA, your contract is guaranteed, so you're going to get your money. But if you're out there playing at 70%, even if you're a superstar, you're going to get exposed. I mean, you are. So I'm not going to say it's selfish, but I don't think I don't know. That's tough. I'm 50-50 on it, man. That's a real tough question.
So I got something to add on to that. So
go
ahead,
ahead, Pablo.
So
go ahead. I'm gonna say
like
something
you said,
afterwards.
it's different. You know what I'm saying? In the NBA, right? So in the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is a little more, you know, on the not selfish, but on the, you know, personal side, like for that person, right? So is it really selfish though? Like you said, is it really selfish because he got a family to feed, right? So he's looking out for his family. You know what I'm saying? And he still got a team to play for. So is it really selfish? I mean, can we call that selfish? You know what I'm saying? In the grand scheme of things, like sports, yeah, some people might label him selfish, but I think the most noble thing you could do as a man is take care of your family.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? So if he out there playing and getting paid, you know what I'm saying? Or if he sit out because he need to get paid, is that really selfish? I think it's more of a noble thing to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
you know what I mean? I think that's probably real close to a scripture in the Bible, as a matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm kind of like, I'm really torn on that name. Like that was one of them names that you shouldn't even threw that name out there, man. You should have just gave us somebody better, man.
Throw another one out, let's see. Yeah, that was tough, man.
That is.
Well, here's my only issue with the Kawhi Leonard situation, right? And listen, I'm not mad at nobody doing whatever it is that they got to do to feed families, whatever the case may be. Listen, go get it, right? The only thing that I have an issue with is I look at his demeanor, right? I don't know if you all saw this or whatever, but when Kawhi was in the practice gym for the USA Dream Team basketball team, well, not Dream Team, but you know, the Olympic team, he looked totally uninterested. Totally uninterested. Like, now, bro, there's so many players that would love to be in your position. And here it is, you up here, look all disengaged, don't look like you're interested at all, look like you're just ready to go home, looking like, oh, why am I even here? Like, that bothers me, because it's more so like, well, in my eyes, you shouldn't have even been there in the first place, because how often has he played? How often has Kawhi Leonard played? Like, to me, it seems this whole load management thing has really come in effect because of Kawhi Leonard. That's the reason why last year you saw him play a little bit, but then now, you know, he's out again.
To be honest, Lenzel, you are majority right, but let me tell y'all one thing. You're right. It did start really with Kawhi and the San Antonio Spurs, but there's one thing I'm not saying you wrong on. You know who started the load management? Probably one of the greatest bench coaches in the NBA, Greg Pop. Pop started that load management, and it worked for him because they won 4 championships or whatever it is. But Pop started it, you know. But I wanted to hit on that really quickly, and but I do agree with you on that. I'm an NBA fan, but I'm not a load management fan. Now, if you're hurt, legitimately, sit down. I don't want you getting out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you risking ending your career, ending your season. But now I am like you know, Jordan and them and everybody said, like, if you ain't hurt, then you should play. If you're tired, you can get out there and play. Because I go to work a whole day. I work a lot of games when I'm tired. So yeah, that's one thing I don't. I'm not, even though I'm an big NBA fan, I don't like load management at all.
Yeah, I think load management is whack. For sure. Go ahead.
Listen, load management is trash. It's trash.
I think it is too.
I'm gonna just say it for what it is, right?
It is trash.
I'm gonna tell this is. I don't know if they really correlate together, whatever the case may be, but it's kind of like if you like you said, bro, if you hurt, I get it.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing. Who's to say that you really hurt? How do we know you were really hurt?
That's the thing.
Like, let's be honest, right? The reason why I say that, because I'm gonna just throw out a quick example right quick, right? It involves a whole nother sport. It involves another sport, right? It involves football. I'll say this right quick. I don't know if you've all have ever noticed, but I noticed this every single game. I don't care what game it is. I don't care who's playing, whatever the case may be. But I've noticed this in every single college game that I've just been watching here for the past several years, right? When it gets close to the game ending, and there's, I don't know, let's start to say 10 minutes max, right? I'm just throwing out a number because it could be less than that. There could be 10 minutes left in this game. You know what starts to happen? You only get 3 timeouts in football, right? But what teams start doing, it would not surprise me if a lot of these coaches are telling that some of their players, yo, on this play right here, if he burns you, you go down.
Yeah.
Now, that may sound crazy. But faking an injury is not crazy. It happens.
Oh, yeah.
It happens. Like I said, if you hurt, listen, I don't want nobody to be hurt. I really don't. Like, I don't want to come off insensitive or anything like that. Like, that is not my point. My point is that how do we really know if that is the case?
So,
because just start noticing. Just peep it. When you watch some of these games, just peep it. Just watch like the last 5 to 7 minutes in a football game. Watch how many players. If the team is losing, I mean, I get it, but if a team is losing, because you can't do it in basketball, like you just can't do it. You got 11 players on the field in football, but if a team is losing, watch how many players go down. Like they're like they may be hurt, whatever the case may be. Just watch it. You know what that does, right? It gives the team it gives them an extra timeout. Let's just be clear. It gives them a free timeout to use. It gives them a chance to get some rest, figure out a play.
Mm-hmm.
It gives them a lot of stuff. I've noticed these things. And my thing is, when are we really going to start figuring out how we're going to fix this? Because it's getting out of hand now. It really is getting out of hand. But again, who's going to question if someone is hurt? Who's going to question? Nobody's going to question. So it's just things that I notice. And like I said, when it comes to basketball, I mean, we already know every year we know the players right now. We can I guarantee you, each one of us can name 10 players that are going to be hurt next season in the NBA.
Well, the NBA did really, I don't want to say all they can, but they did put made it. If you got to play 65 games now to qualify for an award. And your big name guys, a lot of that all NBA first, second, third team is tied to their money because their money goes up if they make one of those, if they make first, second, or third team. So you got to play in 65 out of 82 games, which was I actually like the rule that they put in for them because it does slow guys from sitting as much. Does it stop the whole problem? No, I mean, like you said, MJ played 80 games a year, 81 games a year. I mean, every year, but, we've probably seen the end of those days. So it is what it is,
Yeah.
You know what NBA players are? As bad as I hate to say it, and I'm going to say it, though. NBA players are con artists.
Damn.
Boy, that's a big statement, Lenzel.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because you remember on Lean on Me when Joe Clark or Morgan Freeman, Morgan Freeman was telling Sams, you know what? You trying to con me. Like when he was talking to Sams up on the roof, right?
Yeah.
What
you
it
smoke
is
crack,
is
don't you?
These NBA players, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. These NBA players are going to figure out a way to finesse that. I guarantee you.
It'll come up in their next negotiation, but it stands right now until the next collective bargaining, which I ain't saying what'll happen, what won't. You never know.
Yeah. That shit's...
So
it's just a lot of them. Like I said, we can name 10 of them right now. They con artists. I call it what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm just getting tired of seeing all of this stuff, man. Like, and my biggest fear is college basketball turning into the NBA, which is what I don't want. And I believe that it's heading that way.
You already got the
transfer portal and NIL.
Well, that's a good question, y'all. So that's something I haven't talked about y'all with. What y'all's thought on the NIL situation?
I love it.
Who wants to go first? Because I'm fired up.
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Love the NIL.
Go ahead, Pablo. Let me cool down, I guess.
Yeah, I think the NIL is a good thing, man. I think, these players, like these guys are making so much money off the players, like the organizations, schools, agents, everybody making money off the player except the player. You know what I mean? So now the game has changed,
Yes,
so it's putting the power back in their hands, and I like it. I don't see it as a bad thing. I think that all these other sports, they get to do it, and they've been doing it forever.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I think when it comes to a sport where it's, majority minorities, it kind of, it got a tendency to get, for them to try to regulate things. Nah, man, let us eat too. We trying to eat, let them eat. I don't have no problem with it. I have no problem with it.
I love it as well because for what you said, number one, I agree with you 1,000%. I'm going to add a couple other things to it too. Coaches get paid. Coaches can leave and go wherever they want to go, and they still get paid. The kids, the only thing that I would like to see is, and I don't know how to do it, y'all, because it's so different. Like, you got kids that, like, it depends on, like, Power 5 schools. I'm sure it's a Carolina Duke. I know a kid that plays for Indiana that's 11th man on the team, and he's making six figures. He's $150,000. But, like, I would like to see something put in. I don't want it regulated at all, Pablo, like that. I want them to make what they can make. but I would like to see like maybe like 25% of it be put in a trust fund for them. And maybe I hope to God, I don't know. I know a lot of kids that play, and I hope to God they doing well with their money. But you know, you would just hate to see, like, say, like a kid stays at Carolina for 3 years. Say he makes 2.5, 2, whatever it is. Let's just throw that number out. Say he don't go to the NBA. Maybe he goes across the water and he makes a good living there as well. Maybe he goes to work and uses his degree, whatever it is. But like, I would like to see him like put just a small percentage of that in. I want him to get all of it still, but throw it in a trust fund. Maybe it's not taxable. So like 3 years after they get out of school, like, okay, all your bread is your bread. But like 25% of it, we're going to put, this is going to go in a trust fund for you. And you can get 3 years after you out of college, or 2, or whatever you need it. But like, I just think that would be, it's like an extra safety net.
Yeah. No, I think that's dope. I think that's dope. I think along with that too, I would say with the NIL, I think there needs to be more education that comes with that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like those kids they should have mandatory elective classes that come with the NIL. Like if you're an athlete and you're going to get NIL money, you should have to take a class on NIL every year. You should take a class. And I'm not talking about like just you know what I'm saying? Not an old school Roy Williams UNC class where the cats was just getting taught whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking more like a in-depth, you know what I'm saying, sit down with accountants and you know, different managers that really know finances and really explain to these kids, you know what I'm saying, like what the NIL is all about. I think that should come along with the NIL, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I don't know. That's just me. That's my thoughts. Let's go with that, Lindsay.
So, I mean, these are great topics, guys. Like, I listen. I love this. I love this. So, I like the NIL, and I don't like the NIL. I love the players to get paid. I truly believe that the players should get paid. I don't think that any player coming into college or whatever, because of the fact, yes, they are bringing the university a lot of money, you know, things like that. That's all great. That's all great. I don't think an 18-year-old player should get anything over $1 million. That's just me. Now, if you're gonna give them something, of course, over $1 million, like you said, some educational class would be that would be phenomenal, because now you're teaching them, you know, how to balance or whatever when it comes to their money or whatever. I like the trust fund as well. Like, with a certain amount of it, take half of it or whatever, to where it's not taxable, but that's gonna happen. It's gonna be taxed. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you take a certain amount of it, put it in the trust fund, and figure something out in regards to, I mean, you can set it up to where, you know, because the NIL flows with the transfer portal. Like they're both kind of neck and neck to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't. The thing is, give each team a salary cap. The problem is, if you give each team a salary cap, it's still not going to benefit any of the bottom tier type schools. Like North Carolina,
and then you're gonna have the same school, same top schools gonna get the same top players.
That's it.
Gonna get the same top players.
So it shouldn't be no
salary. The salary cap don't work. Yeah, the salary cap is not really gonna work. Like, you know, whatever.
I'm gonna need you to put your Duke cap on, right? You got your UNC cap on right now. Put your Duke cap on. I need you to think a little more, man.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
I've been saying, listen, I've been
taking them
this,
Rashad McCants classes right now.
You go, bringing up names that I don't even want to bring up. Bringing up names I don't want to bring up. Boy, I tell you, Pablo in rare form tonight. But nah, on a serious note, seriously though, like the salary cap is really not going to work, because of the fact, like I said, the bottom tier schools, They're not going to get the same type of money that the Alabamas and Kansas and all of them are going to get, whatever the case may be. So the salary cap is out. But a lot of it will also depend on transfer portal as well. Because of the fact, well, transfer portal, I'll leave it separate for a moment. As far as the NIL, I love both of those ideas. I think that should, a trust fund and an educational class. But at the same time, let's not give all of these players that money. Pablo bringing up Duke cups and all of that. Listen, let's not give all of these players that money, right? Because my thing is earn the money instead of just giving it to them. Yeah, okay. If they send $1 million after it's tax, what is that? Six
and
600?
Yeah.
600-700 some change.
Six and change, right? Okay. You get six and change. Really good money. Still really good money, right? Man, that six that you got, that's just coming from the university. That's just coming from whatever fans, university, whatever you want to call it. That's not including any of your other like endorsement deals that to my knowledge. If Audi calls you up, yeah, if Audi calls you up and Papa John's calls you up and I don't know, Dunkin' Donuts calls you up or whatever, that's 3 more that you just included that's going to pile up on top of the 6 that you already got. Why sit up here and pay these players $1 million plus? That don't make sense.
Well,
that don't make sense.
I think where we're at is where we're gonna be. And to be honest with you, like I know we see some upsets like the first round of college basketball, second, but I think like college football and basketball, it's the haves and have-nots, and I don't think that's gonna change. I mean, teams with the most money are probably gonna win. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, and obviously the teams that were winning before NIL, if you really look at it, they've all got a lot of money. You know, that means they've been prominent. So yeah, I don't think it's possible for like, I mean, it's going to be really difficult for somebody to come out of the woodwork and contend now. That's my opinion. It's going to be tough.
I can't even. Well, you know what? I agree with that, Rob. Right? Because this has been something that has been brewing here for, I think, since we last spoke, since you was last on the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've heard of the whole AJ DeBanza thing, right?
Absolutely.
Like, BYU offering him $5 million, which is why BYU is one of his final 7 schools, right? Yeah. But look at the list of schools that is on his list. BYU, Baylor, Alabama, Kansas, Kansas State, Auburn, North Carolina. Why is BYU on that list? Because BYU offered to give him $5 million, right?
Yeah.
AJ DeBanza is only coming to college for 1 year. He's one and done.
He's one and done.
So why is BYU willing to risk it all? Give a player $5 million, even though they can pay him and he can go there. But guess what? BYU is not going to be competitive.
Probably not.
Players on the team, the player, they ain't gonna have no money to pay no other players.
It's gonna be awful tough.
The rest of the players on the team, like they gonna be looking like y'all gave him $5 million for 1 year, and you're not even gonna be competitive. Like it doesn't make sense. And if the NCAA don't figure things out to get things regulated,
I don't know how.
Right now, I'll say this, and this is the last thing that I'll say about the NIL, because I'll get off the topic. It's time right now The players are the ones that are in control. The
You
school
know why? Let me just say this
and
real
the
quick.
coaches.
Here's the
Yeah.
problem, bro. They lost in court. Let me tell you what. If they could go back to the way it was, they surely would. Because here's the thing. The reason the kids didn't get paid forever was because of the schools in the NCAA. Let's keep it real. Because they wanted all the money. They wanted all the money, y'all. Here's the thing. Yeah, they had the perfect, like they always said. I think Red Auerbach said it like years. I saw a quote. I'm not that old, but I saw a quote. They asked the Red Auerbach years and years ago about why doesn't football and the NBA have a farm system like baseball, right? You know, like the major leagues got the farm system, right? Single A, double A, triple A. You know what his quote was? We do. College sports.
Yeah.
That was their farm system. And guess what? They didn't have to pay for it. That's the truth, y'all. I know. I get it. That's the truth. The reason we in this position with NIL, and then I'm gonna let it go as well, is because of two people with two systems: the NCAA and the schools. They made all the money, and they didn't want to share it. They wanted to give them. They wanted to give them more snacks.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this. And Pablo, I need you to be objective when I ask you this. Do not throw your
I'll do my
state.
best.
Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna throw your school in it. I'm not even gonna throw your school in it. I need you to be. I want you to be objective.
I'm gonna be objective. Go ahead.
But
I'll show you how non-biased
the same question. The same question to the both of y'all. $5 million to go to BYU or $1.5 million to go to Kentucky.
What's the question though? Like,
which do I take if I was
which one you taking?
Oh, okay.
Which one you taking if you was a player?
Well, for me, like I said earlier, I'm more of a like tradition dude, like more team type of dude. So, and I want to win. I'm competitive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to just go to school and score 30 but get smacked every game. That ain't even fun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my stock is high, but your stock could be high at Duke or North Carolina too when you're averaging 20. You know what I'm saying? And you 15-0.
Oh. Well, let me throw in a caveat too. You also got the transfer portal. That's also a part. So I just thought that I'd throw that out there because I'm driving this home somewhere. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean that's how I feel about it. I'd rather
So you
win.
picking Kentucky?
I'm picking Kentucky, Duke, North Carolina, whatever school could pay me that 1.5 and still give me a chance to win a national championship. And I could deal with all the tradition and everything else. You know what I'm saying? I get to experience all that. What you gonna do at BYU?
Okay, Rob.
Am I one? And I'm a one and done dude, right? Does that go with the question?
You don't have to be. That's the narrative. That's the narrative that's going on around about you. Let's say that you're one and done.
If I'm one and done, I'm probably going to Kentucky. If there's a question about it, I might have to take the $5 million and go to BYU, especially depending on what background you come from. So I know that's kind of like straddling the fence. One and done, I'm going to the league because I know I'm gonna get rich next year anyway. I'm going to like Pablo said, I'm going to Duke, Carolina, wherever. Yes. If I thought I was going to be in school for 3 years, I'm probably take that 5. If I'm getting that every year.
Yeah.
Would either one of you guys pay $5 million for a player?
Hell no.
No,
if I had the bread, hey, spend it.
Yeah.
You're BYU. You're BYU.
No.
So if I had the bread and it didn't compromise the integrity of my program or my team structure and everything else, I wouldn't do it. You know, I mean, I would do it, But if it went against all that other stuff, and I knew that we would be trash, and players would be griping, and coaches wouldn't be happy, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let's say that you wasn't one and done. Are you still going to Kentucky, or are you going to BYU?
I'm still gonna go to Kentucky because I still want to win. I still want to experience all the tradition and all that other stuff. And you still gonna get the best of the best at Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? You're still gonna get the best of the best at a blue blood. Period. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still gonna go there. You know what I'm saying? And I understand upbringing and everything else that comes into play. So I think it'd be a tough decision, but I would have to do some soul searching and really some consulting and some really smart people and talking to my family, and I would make a very educated decision.
That's a good answer. Good answer.
So I asked this question to a former Tar Heel player on one of my episodes a few weeks ago, right? I asked him the same question. You know what he told me, and it made sense. But he told me he's going to BYU, and the reason why
what? I was about to insult y'all, but go ahead. You got it.
You just got to find some way to get this whole rivalry thing in here, don't you? Oh, my goodness, man.
You throwing an alley-oop, dog. I'm just catching it and dunking that motherfucker.
Yeah, but I ain't throwing it and shooting shots at your school. Like, geez. But anyways, so the reason why he said that he was going to BYU, right, is because, he might be a one-and-done player. BYU is offering him $5 million. North Carolina or whatever would offer him 1.5. He's going to go to BYU for the very simple reason, even though he might be the one and done, he has the option to come back to college the following year. And guess what? All he got to do is just jump in the portal and go to the school that he really wanted to go to. So go get the $5 million and then turn around and go to the actual school where you wanted to go after a season or two. Now you done collected and got
money
more
ain't
money,
gonna be the same.
Which made more sense. Which made sense.
Your money might not be the same.
It ain't gonna be the same. It ain't gonna be the same. But look at it ain't gonna be the same. Yeah, but it's not gonna be the same. But look at what you've already gotten. Look at your stock. Your stock went up too, because this was the key point that he told me. If you're the number one player in the country, guess what? The TV is gonna follow you anyway.
For sure.
Which is a valid point. So if we see 2 BYU games on the TV, you can rest assured for that season, we're gonna end up seeing 7 or 8 or something like that of BYU games because of that one player.
And you know what's gonna go along with
that?
7 or 8 BYU losses. But I mean,
I agree. I agree, but he's getting the notoriety.
Yeah. You're gonna get the notoriety anyway because you're nice. You know what I'm saying?
So you winning on all levels. You getting the $5 million. You still getting the notoriety. It might not be like the notoriety you would be getting if you went to Duke or Kentucky or Carolina or anything like that. Yeah. You're still getting it though.
Yeah.
And it works out in your favor because now you can actually turn around the following year. What school is going to turn you down?
True. Yeah.
You're the number one player in the country. What school's going to turn you down?
That's fair. I understand it.
So,
that's a different point. That's a different point. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, but that was kind of like my thing as far as like there has to be something regulated when it comes to the NIL. Like that's the first thing. But also there has to be a regulation somewhere in the transfer portal as well. I love the transfer portal. I think it gives the kids, these young men, I ain't going to call them kids, but I think it gives these young men the opportunity to really start getting some spotlight, getting some shine. Yeah. Look at Tristan Newton from UConn last year. I mean, he came from East Carolina.
Yeah, you guys.
We don't. Even here in the state of North Carolina, we don't see East Carolina games on TV.
No, that's
like,
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? But it has to be. It's got to be regulated. Like, if I'm not mistaken, because somebody asked me a question. He said, there is none of the other sports in college have one and done. You have to stay in college for like 2 or 3 years. I think it's 3 years or so before you could like leave or go to the leagues or anything like that. That's in every other college, every other sport in college except basketball.
Yeah,
except basketball, where there's the one and done.
Yeah. Well, that's because that's the NBA, and that collective bargaining the players will never give on. I can tell you that.
Right.
That they'll never sign that. Yeah.
I think guys like Roy Williams and Coach K should be on on some sort of committee. And when it comes to like top 10 players, I think they need to get rid of the one and done, and maybe you can open it back up to where these players go straight to the league, or whatever the case may be. But if they come to college and they decide to transfer, I think there should only be a one transfer rule, because how are these kids going to learn adversity if they don't face it? If they don't put themselves to the test.
Some kids don't transfer just because of that.
No, I'm not saying that, but a lot of kids don't transfer because of the fact that they're not getting played, they're not getting no PT or whatever the case may be. Majority of the time, that's the reason. So, okay, if you're not getting the PT and everything, then challenge yourself to be better, like what we're used to and what we grew up on or whatever watching. When Michael Jordan didn't win the NBA Finals or whatever, what did he do? He went and got his butt in the gym and came back and beat the fool out of the Pistons.
Well, the thing is today with like the young men with like what we're talking about is it's totally different, because you're on the Puma circuit now. The problem is we have so many people giving these young guys, I call them youngins, bad advice. They get horrible advice. I mean, that's one reason the portal is, you can look at the portal like 5 different ways, okay, or whatever. One is, okay, the kid, like you said, that from East Carolina, they went to UConn. Great move, worked out, everything, fire. But how many of these kids signed with blue bloods that are probably mid-major players? Either they were, their value was overestimated, guys thought they could play, or they thought that they were going to sit there for 2 years and wait till they're a junior to play. That's not happening anymore either. Like, we have to be real. I get what you're saying with that adversity, Lenzel. You're right. But we're in a different climate. You got high school coaches are not as valued as much. We know that AAU coaches are valued more, especially if you're on a major circuit. It's just a different day. And I think I think the kids get horrible advice. And then I hear so many kids talking about, well, I'm transferring because I want to go to I want to go somewhere where I can showcase my abilities, and I'm going to go to the NBA. Well, let's just look at the NBA, the draft. 60 players drafted every year. Normal, the last 10 years. How many one and done guys are coming out? So out of the 60 spots, probably 30 of them are freshmen, right? Give or take. Then we got probably 15 guys coming across the water. So juniors and seniors taking what per year? 6, maybe 8.
Yeah.
So but you got 400 people transferring because they like, oh, I'm going to the league. No, you're not. No, the hell you're not. I hate to tell you that. They get horrible advice. Oh, I'm a transfer. I averaged 3.5. I averaged 3 points a game and 2 assists last year at Duke. I'm a sophomore. I've played sparingly. I'm just use Duke as an example. Probably I'm not picking on your school.
Nah,
But,
you good, you good.
but I'm
Nah,
a transfer.
pick on him, Rob.
But I'm gonna transfer to Washington State next year, where I'm gonna be a starter and the ball's gonna be on my hand. Playboy, you not going to the NBA. I'm just saying, it's not gonna happen. I mean, but we got people telling them, "Oh yeah, go here. You know, we gonna get you to the league, or we gonna showcase you." But
This ain't happening.
no, it's not. But it is what it. You know, I've learned to take it in stride over these last few years because you know it is what it is.
I listen. I'm right there with you. Over half of these players are not going to the league. There's a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of players here in college right now this year that if they go to the league, they're not gonna succeed. And there's a lot of them that are not going to the league at all. They're gonna end up overseas.
There's
Period.
you know
I'm talking about big name. I'm talking about big name players.
And you know what? Here's
Like,
the thing. I always say this, you know, that's the one thing I love working training camp that starts this week. Like you see a lot of guys that come in as free agents or even training camp in the summer before they go summer league camp. Guys you watched on Saturdays be dominant at the college level, and they get to that next level and they look like deer in headlights. It is what it is. It's not for everybody. Everybody's not going to succeed. There's only 450 guys in the league. You know, people talk about the league like they try to like there's 3,000 guys in the league. Man, there's 450 dudes in the NBA, man. Period.
Yeah.
Tough,
You think
man.
schools should have GMs?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's good for your program for sure.
Yeah.
Having a GM for sure.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Definitely, it definitely help.
I like the idea. I'm just it worries me a little bit because when it comes time for transfer portal, trying to get players or recruiting, players and things like that, like a lot of these kids want the interactions with the actual coaches. So it's like,
Yeah. And they still gonna get that though. They still gonna get that. You know what I'm saying? The GM is just gonna be setting a lot of that stuff
true.
up. You know what I'm saying? So they still gonna get the interaction with the coaches and stuff.
I think
yeah.
one thing Calipari did that was really smart 3-4 years ago, 5 years, I don't remember how long ago, is when he started doing that, like that combine before the season. It was smart.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's smart, man, because you can get all 30 teams in to look at you, especially if you got 3, 4, 5 kids that got NBA potential. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, but he's trash.
not the greatest coach, not the greatest coach in the world, but I agree with you.
Damn.
Yeah, he's trash. He's I can't stand Calipari.
Hey, I believe he's gonna have Arkansas rolling though, fam.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
he might. He
He
might.
might.
I'm not denying that.
I ain't saying what they're gonna do.
But
I ain't saying what he's gonna do in the tournament. But I'm gonna tell you what. One thing Calipari gonna have is talent.
Players.
He gonna get players, bro. You can send him to the University of Alaska. He gonna get somebody to come play for him.
That's for real.
Yeah,
that's real talk.
That's true. Now, one thing about him that I will say, because I had this conversation a long time ago, and I tell anybody this: I'm not a Cal fan. He'll never go down as a great or GOAT in my eyes or anything like that. But one thing that he is a great recruiter, and he knows how to get players to the league.
Absolutely.
Those to me are like the biggest accolades when it comes to him. Yeah, he got a national championship. He only has one.
That's it.
All them greats that have came through Kentucky, and yet you have only been able to get one. There's something wrong there. Like, so
I'm just telling you how hard it
That's
is
a
to
whole
win.
nother story.
Yeah.
And
Both.
it ain't that hard. It ain't that hard because Roy won 3, and he was at Kansas before Cal got to Kentucky. Like it ain't that hard, bro.
I mean,
Come
Cal
on
should
now.
have. I mean, I think it's hard to win, but I'm gonna agree with both y'all. I ain't gonna ride the fence, but I think it's hard to win. But I mean, with the talent Cal had, he definitely should have had another one, at least maybe 2. You know, I mean, he's had enough. He just bad luck in the tournament, man. Bad coaching, whatever you want to say. But yeah, he didn't get. Bottom line, he didn't get it done. So I mean, that's what you got to say.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So, all right. So my only question, real quick, and we can breeze through it. My only question, since it's 3 of us, top 5. Let's say top 5. Top 5 most top 5 college basketball's most exciting game.
Ooh,
I gotta get y'all to put on your thinking caps for a little bit.
Exciting, huh? Man.
Damn,
I'll give you my first one. And I ain't gonna lie, there's only a few that I got in my mind too. So like y'all will probably think of some that of other than what I got in my mind. But my first one, in my eyes, I gotta go with the Caleb Love shot against Duke in the Final Four. That is just historic. And listen, that ain't no shot at Pablo.
That's all good.
Pablo, I don't want you
because
to
mine
think
was
that.
the Austin Rivers joint over you know what I'm saying, old boy from North Carolina.
But now keep in mind, this don't have to be just Carolina and Duke, okay? I'm just
I got you.
They're gonna be involved in
Yeah.
a lot of them, though, man.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm not a Duke or a Carolina fan, but I gotta give it probably. And listen. Pablo might hate this, but I hated Christian Laettner. Could not stand him.
It's all good.
But I will say one of the most exciting games ever, shot he made against Kentucky.
Yes.
No, I gotta get. I mean, that was unbelievable. I hated him. Like,
okay, what number do you get that? Where you rank it in the 5? And then we just going off the whim. This ain't got to be like set in stone and stuff like that. It's just real quick, a quick exercise, I guess you could say.
For me,
where do you have it in the 5?
That Laettner shot's got to be 3 or 4. It's up there. I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna go. I can give you my number 1, which is gonna probably be different than y'all's. And once again, I'm not a Carolina fan, but I remember watching the game. I was a real little kid, but the Jordan shot to beat Georgetown, because I was a huge Georgetown fan. It pissed me off, but it was an unbelievable game, man.
It was. That was a really good game. Like every once in a while, I go back and I watch that game. I must say, like I was 2 years old. No, I was 1 in 82.
I was young, man, but it was that was an unbelievable game. Another one, man.
I think the number 1, and I don't think nobody will argue this, but I think the number 1 biggest college game ever is probably the Syracuse Georgetown 6 overtime game.
That was a great
game. Was crazy.
That
bro.
game was crazy.
Johnny Flynn was going crazy in that game, bro.
Man, what did he have in that game? I can't even remember.
I think he had a lot of points.
Kimba went off too. Now Kimba went off.
He went off too. That was
he did. But Johnny Flynn was really hooping that game, man.
Oh man, he was. Yeah, I had him in Pacer camp too. his last little stretch.
That's number one.
Probably number one. I you know, and I had forgotten that game. That was unbelievable.
That was an amazing game.
Yeah,
Amazing game.
Yeah.
Gotta say, the Caleb Love shot.
That was huge. That was a great game too.
Yeah. I gotta put that too. Yeah, I gotta put that too. And the only reason why I put it too is because I never wanted Carolina and Duke to play each other in the tournament. Never. I don't care if one loses or the other loses. Like, just don't play each other in the tournament. Because it takes away from the rivalry.
Hey man, we
really,
about to,
in my eyes.
We about to kick off. We start scrimmages like this weekend and next week, actually. Yeah. Be on that court.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
Trying to think of another one, man. It was just exciting as that. Man, the crazy thing about like really great games in college basketball, I swear, every team I was rooting for lost. And it's crazy. I rooted for, like I said, Michigan against Carolina with the timeout,
which was an amazing game. That was a great game too. That was a great game. As a matter of fact,
I thought they were going to win the year before, man. When they were true freshmen and they had Duke in the championship, I was like, when they were up, even though they were only up, I think 1 or 2 at the half, I was like, man, they're going to win this game. Till about 5 minutes into the second half, I was like, this shit's a wrap.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah. And it's crazy because they actually played each other in the beginning of the season.
They did. I remember the game. I do.
A lot of it. Yeah.
That's
and Michigan.
It was a great game. Yeah. Michigan should have won that game. Truthfully, they really should have won that game.
Michigan won that. They won that game. They won the game earlier in the season. Yeah, they won off on a buzzer beater.
I forgot. I thought they lost that.
Yeah, they won on a buzzer beater, and when I spoke with like Kevin Salvadori and everything, like he said it. He was like, man, we wanted them. We wanted that revenge. And we sure got it in the national championship game. I said, man, like, I mean, that's the Fab Five, man.
Yes, sir. So Pablo, I'm gonna throw
a great game.
Before we get off of here, quick question on this one. Give me Cooper Flag. Give me Cooper Flag stat line this year, bro.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming out tonight, and I appreciate it.
Throw me one out, bro.
I've been on record, talking a lot about Cooper Flag, and I've actually wrote, I think, about 3 articles, real in-depth articles on Cooper Flag, and I don't think that we're gonna see anything like crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we're gonna see 20 and nah. I honestly don't even think he's gonna lead the team in scoring.
Fam, that may all be true because that's the thing people don't understand. Like in college basketball, it's on a blue blood team that's a perennial whatever, top 10. Name me the last player that averaged 20 points a game on a perennial top. I mean, you could name, but it doesn't happen very often.
Nah, it don't. So I say, honestly, like if I'm being real, I say anywhere between 13 and 15 points, 7-8 rebounds, 3-4 assists, a block or 2.
I tell you this much, and I can tell y'all this. He'll be the first or second player picked in the draft next year.
Oh, for sure.
1 or 2.
For sure.
I can tell you that.
He's the coldest American-born white player in the last I don't know how long. I don't even know who they. You know what I'm saying?
Kevin Garnett just spoke about that on his podcast, bro. You have not had one in a long.
We haven't had one. We ain't had no cold ass white boy in a minute.
No, and that's why I was saying. So, like on American soil, I can't even remember the last one.
Yeah, me neither. Fuck, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? You really start thinking about who is it, because all the dudes that's putting in work in the league, Luka,
Yep.
Joker, they all from
They
Europe.
are overseas
Like,
cats.
yeah, ain't been no born and bred one here in a long time.
Yeah.
Kevin Love, I mean, he was cool for a minute, like
Yeah.
probably your last one. JJ had a good career, but not no like dude that potentially could be special. Because one thing I will say about Cooper Flag, watching him, Lindsay, you're gonna hate this, but I'm gonna say it. Watching him, I've had him in EYBL, and then watching him play the Olympic team, I think he has potential, and I always hate saying that word, but I think he has potential to be a much better pro
For
than he
sure.
was a college player.
For sure.
Because when you can stretch, you can handle it, and you can shoot, and you can finish in the league. If you can do those 4 things with his size, you can be pretty good. Is all I'm gonna say.
Yep. I agree.
Okay. I'll ask this.
Go ahead.
And I know what Pablo's gonna say, but
No, you don't.
will Cooper Flag be successful in the NBA?
Yes. If he doesn't get hurt, I'm gonna say yes, because of those 4 things I said. He's athletic enough, he shoots it well, he can handle. I think he'll be successful. How successful, I'm not gonna say. I'm saying he has potential to be really good. I watched the things he could do at the Olympics, and when you get somebody like LeBron that grab you, and like he's got the chance to be special. College basketball is so different than the NBA. So, like, I agree with I looking at him, I said 15-7. That's what I was saying for his stat line.
Yeah. So we right on par. Yeah.
But I think he's got potential to be a very good NBA player.
Sure.
I do.
I agree with that.
All right. I'll leave it there. I'm not gonna get into my little my Cooper Flag rant.
His hate.
Not even gonna get into
what you mean to say? His hate.
I'm not. Nah, you ain't gonna bait me. You ain't gonna bait me, buddy. Nah, I ain't getting into it. If this was the beginning of the show, then I would have jumped right on out there. I ain't got no problem.
Well, we need to do one about. Let's see. We got to do another one with this trio about December, January, when let's get into the season a little bit and see where we at.
I'm with that.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be dope.
That'd be dope, y'all.
I'm with that.
That'd be dope.
That. Yeah. Yeah. We can do that. We might yeah. I'm with that. I'm with that. We'll figure something out. We'll figure something out. Like,
so y'all
absolutely.
represented y'all school. Since I don't have a true school to represent, like, because I just like college basketball, I'm gonna mess y'all up on the next one. I'll probably wear like a old school UNLV shirt or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got to represent something different, y'all.
Yeah.
You gonna bring it? What you bringing out? Some Larry Johnson, Rayford Austin?
Hey, bro,
ain't that where Rayford Austin went?
Yeah, he did.
No, he went to Fresno State.
Went to Fresno. Yeah, he went to. I think Tark was at Fresno.
Okay, who was that?
Right?
Who was that? UNLV. Larry Johnson,
though, right?
Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, Anderson Hunt,
Greg Anthony.
Greg Anthony.
Yeah. Yep, that's right.
They had a great team, man. Great team.
They did.
Yeah. I didn't know you was a UNLV fan.
I was a UNLV fan when they was there.
That amoeba defense was real.
Boy, it was real.
Man.
It was real. Yeah, growing up, man, I had a few times. You know what, man? I love hoop, man. So, like, when I saw some teams that, like, played the way I like them to play, man, I just, I roll with them, man. Like Fab Five, UNLV. I used to like Syracuse when the Dome was rocking, when they was getting exciting dudes. I love Georgetown because I was a huge John Thompson fan. So yeah, Yeah.
Okay. So one question that I'm gonna ask the both of you. I'm gonna ask Rob first. Rob, you familiar with Duke's team and North Carolina's team this year, right?
Yes. With the basics, I haven't got
Okay.
in depth and just like really like spent the time. But yes, I am. Go ahead. I'm listening.
All right. Over or under? Duke will win 27 games this season.
he put me in the trick bag. You know what? Oh man, I ain't trying. I'm gonna say over.
Okay. You ain't even got to explain. Over or under? UNC will win 27 games this season.
Answer for him. Under
Don't
under
worry,
like
Rob.
a motherfucker.
I'm gonna go under.
Listen.
I'm gonna go under, Lindsay. I'm gonna go under, bro. Not far under, but I'm gonna go a little under.
I was gonna say, listen, don't worry. You got an invitation to come back, bro. Like
I'm gonna
it's
go
okay.
a little under. I'm gonna go a little under. So, what's y'all's what's y'all's pick? I mean, where do y'all see y'all?
I'm about to ask Pablo the same question. Over or under? Duke will win. I'll be objective, Pablo, please.
I'm being very
Duke
objective.
will win 27 games.
Very much over. And I'm being very objective because I'm looking at the roster, the balance, the construction of the team, the star talent, the veterans, coaching. Come on, man. Like, if you really look at that team, bro, I don't think that there's I'm not even being biased, bro. I don't see a team.
No, I was gonna say, and you already got them winning the national championship anyway. Which, if that is,
I have them winning the national championship every year, though. Every year it's like that, though. I have them winning the chip. You know what I'm saying? But I know realistically it's not gonna happen. But I feel good. I do feel better about this team than I have in a little while, bro.
Yeah, so if they win the national championship, naturally they're going to win 32, 33, maybe 34 games for the season. Like that's if they're going to win the national championship.
That's if they yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, any national championship team always wins at least 30 games throughout the season. So, okay. Over or under, UNC will win 27 games this season.
Y'all trash, so I'm going to say under. No, I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you. Y'all not trash. We had this conversation before. I honestly do like this North Carolina team. I do like the makeup of the team. I think, your strength is in the guards. You know what I'm saying? And the guards and the wings. And if you guys play through your guards and your wings, I think you guys can find a lot of success. But if you guys trying to throw the ball inside and try to do something, it ain't gonna happen, bro. It ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? And that's just my honest opinion. So I say you guys finished the year around 24-7, 24-6, something like that. And that's a great year. That's a great year.
I mean, that's pretty.
And that's not even shit. That's not even shitting on y'all. That's a great year, bro. That's a great year. So, yeah. I mean, I like this team. I like your team. I like y'all. I like the players that y'all got. Obviously, I'm a Drake Powell and an Ian Jackson fan. I'm an RJ fan. I'm a big Elliot Cadeau fan. You know what I'm saying? I just think that we're going to lock his little ass up when he come to Duke. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Rob, you ain't supposed to do all of that.
You know I love this, y'all. That's why I said we got to come back and do this before we get deep.
Yeah, for sure.
You the busy man. You the one that's got the practices and games and officiating going on. So
we're gonna see. Yeah, I'm gonna be busy, but we're gonna work it in, man. We're gonna work it in.
That's okay. We'll figure it out then. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. So that'll work. So listen, man. I appreciate both of you guys joining, man, for sure. This was an experience for sure. Like this was crazy. This was crazy. So like, listen, tell everybody where they can find both of you guys, man. For those that don't know.
Go ahead, Rob.
Instagram, Ref Rob. TikTok, Ref Rob. Twitter, I'm just on Rob G. Wann.
I'm gonna follow you on Twitter too. So for me, y'all can follow me on Twitter. That's where I do most of my stuff at anyway.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I just hit 3K followers. So make sure y'all follow me on Twitter at Coach P Cong. Doing pretty good there. I got Instagram, of course, same Coach P Cong. I'm not as active on my Instagram, but yeah, y'all can find me on either, and you just holler at me, DM me, shoot me a message, whatever. You know what I mean? I know y'all Carolina fans don't be jumping in my mentions, trying to get crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because Duke all the way.
You insulting us, so you already know what's gonna happen, buddy.
I didn't insult y'all. I said I liked y'all team. I said y'all straight.
You threw some shots, and I was trying to be friendly. So I mean,
it's okay.
Just accept it if it comes back. That's all.
Put on the full armor of God, brother. You're gonna be all right.
Oh man, I can't.
That's Ephesians 6:11. In case you need to know.
See, yeah. I ain't even gonna say nothing, man. I'm not even gonna say nothing, man. So listen, appreciate both of you guys for sure. Everybody, that's Rob Wann and Pablo Cong. My guys right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah, appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you, Linzel. Nice meeting you too, Pablo. I'm gonna chop it up with you soon.
Absolutely, Rob. Real nice meeting you, brother.
So listen, with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I appreciate everybody for tuning in or whatever. We're gonna make sure we do this again. Make sure you follow these guys on their socials. Follow me on my socials. And until then,